TNA Hard Justice is only 2 weeks away, but TNA Impact was a pretty hard watch tonight. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and I just got to say straight off the bat, this might be one of the poorer TNA Impacts I think we've seen in a while, and I think we got quite a few poor Impacts that we weren't really enjoying around the end of 2005 and the beginning of 2006, but they had seemed to have picked up quite a lot lately. But yeah, for me, this week just didn't really do it. With an X Division match to determine the number one contender, with another Jim Cornette meeting that had more references to WWE. We had the Naturals in another tag team match that we quite honestly couldn't really care about. Just don't feel like there was much happening this week on TNA.
Yeah, they didn't cross any line, man, any line of interest. And I'm just... Fucking give me Kurt Angle. Give me unhinged Scott Steiner. Do you not believe that Scott Steiner should be given the mic more? Because he said some great stuff here, but I honestly feel like they're holding him back a wee bit. Unleash him.
Yeah.
I want 2000 Steiner, man, coming out with a tagger.
I'm just not a big fan of Scott Steiner being Jeff Jarrett's little bitch. Or his bodyguard, even. I just don't think that role suits Steiner.
No.
It doesn't. So... It is what it is.
It's not, and I think a big problem with it is the fact that Steiner's a bigger star than Jarrett. In my eyes, and that's what makes it worse. It'd be one thing if Steiner was playing muscle to Hogan.
Yeah.
And obviously he hates Hogan, but...
Or like Kurt Angle or something, you know? I mean, come on.
But
really?
But Jeff Jarrett, he's basically just fucking ruling the roost, essentially, what he's doing.
It's kind of sick. I mean, they were like, right, well... You got jobbed out to Triple H's Reign of Terror on Raw, so we're never going to fucking have you...
Job you to another one.
On Impact. Anyway, right, we start the show. Boris is breaking news. Sting has accepted Christian's offer to accompany him to the ring at Hard Justice. Jeff Jarrett comes in. He's not happy. He says it's a setup from the corporate people at TNA against him.
I'm sick of this.
Many times I heard this.
This is fucking tragic, man.
It's really bad. Slick Johnson comes in and announces that Cornette will be at the Impact Zone tonight, and there's going to be another mandatory meeting for all the TNA talent. And he wants to speak to Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett wants to know where he is now. Steiner then chokes Slick up against the wall, wanting to know where Cornette is. But Slick doesn't know. I don't know, man. Right, then we get LAX. They make their way through the ring, through the crowd.
Through the border.
Yeah, they've got their wee own tunnel with this Mexican flag over it, LAX country. And we've got the Mexican commentary team announcing LAX to the ring. So they're doing a pretty good job of being divisive here and making LAX like stand out. I like the Spanish commentary team, and I like the fact that they're putting over LAX and they're like at the forefront. Then we have LAX basically come over to the booth and say to Tenay and West, basically don't like them.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And Conan takes his spot.
Yeah, Conan like chucks something at them.
Odale.
And then Conan sits down and looks like he's going to be doing a solo job here for this match. And he did get Moody Jackson announcing from the LAX booth, so it was like a duo, but two different booths. Right.
Like halfway across the arena.
But 2 feet away from each other. LAX then defeated Chase and Rance and Jarrell Clark. I mean, what can we really say about these guys?
It's always great seeing the gringo cutter.
Aye, definitely. And then you got the border toss as well. 2 good moves, 2 great names. Is what it is. AJ and Daniels then appear on the screen and they try and challenge them to a match. It says it's not going to be a 1, 2, 3. It's going to end with a 187 on you, bitch. Conan says guys like him make guys like Daniel his bitch, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get the tag titles into the Latino nation. Now, when we were watching this, there was an issue with the audio. So the audio was being played twice because Daniels and AJ were backstage and LAX were in the ring, but it's like the audio were overplaying on each other backstage and in the ring. It was a mess.
And see, considering it was taped, and then it did the exact same with the Aftermath with Joe and his promo, where the audio, it wasn't even like it was out of sync, you were just getting it twice. And I mean, this isn't a dodgy website, folks. I'll happily admit I pay $9.99 for TNA Plus, so you know, none of that shite. So what happened?
Yeah, then we got a promo with Joe backstage, says that, well, he's got issues to resolve with Brown and Rhino, says that Monte's jealous because, like his NFL career, he got to the big show and lost, just like he's lost in Impact. I mean, Monte Brown made it to the Super Bowl twice. That is more impressive than anything Samoa Joe's ever done. I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
I know, Joe's a fat fuck, man. Honestly, if someone was booking...
No, but we're not talking about... See if you wanted to call Brock Lesnar a failed NFL player, I think that would be legit. Because he didn't even make the cut. Then he was like the last guy to get cut and therefore didn't make the squad. Yeah, he played some games, but he never played any games in the NFL regular season. He played in the preseason and friendly matches, whatever they call them. But Monte Brown was actually a player, a good player, that was in a team that made 2 Super Bowls. How the fuck can that be a failed career? It's imagine a footballer, right? A soccer player that had a great career and made it to 2 World Cup finals, but you're going to call him a failure because he didn't win any of them. It's like most players don't even make the World Cup. Never mind, make a World Cup final. Come on.
Joe's reaching here, just like he reaches for the food on the top shelf. Fuck him.
Do you not think that was harsh though?
It is, but I mean, I know what they're going for.
Super Bowl though.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's extremely cheap coming for TNA. I think in WWE you can kind of get away with this because WWE's the pinnacle.
Yeah, but this would
be... TNA is the Impact Zone from, what is it, Soundstage 21?
Yeah, but this would be like a guy in Ring of Honor, bashing someone who main evented WrestleMania and lost. It's like, hold on, I still fucking main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What have you main evented, buddy? Some fucking backdoor bingo hall shite. Right, then we get Steiner brawling with Lethal backstage, looking for Christian, bashes Lethal's head off the lockers a little bit, and then they make their way looking for Christian, because I guess they're done beating up Lethal. Then we get another Bobby Roode video package. Same shite we've seen in recent weeks. Simon Diamond, Shane Douglas, and James Mitchell all put him over. They all want to manage him. They all say he's the best free agent, the hottest free agent in wrestling today. The guy's employed by TNA. How does that make him a free agent? I don't... Unless they mean... From a managerial standpoint, he's a wrestler with no manager because Scott D'Amore's no longer got his claws into him or whatnot. But when I think of free agents, I think of someone who's not signed for a company and could join any company.
Yeah. But obviously if that was the case, then he wouldn't be getting promoted. He'd be getting blacklisted. But why... Bobby Roode in 2006...
Hold on.
It's just not this level, man.
Who at this point would be the hottest free agent in wrestling?
Probably Kurt Angle.
Is he a free agent? Does he not need to wait till his 3 months has passed up?
I know, but he's still a free agent.
Yeah, but I mean, is he really though until his 3 months have passed up?
I'd say he is, but he just can't compete.
Well, let's not Kurt Angle. Count Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Who's the hottest free agent in wrestling right now? Could you think this time frame, halfway through 2006, who is not wrestling right now?
I mean, there's a lot of guys, I guess you could say.
Right, who can
Goldberg,
go?
Like a Brock Lesnar.
Aye, why not? So I don't think it's Bobby Roode. That's my point.
Aye. And that's like, I'm looking at the top. There's probably fucking hundreds. I mean, Jericho's no wrestling.
Aye, there you go. Shane Douglas is in... I always thought Jericho was going to join TNA around this time. Never happened though. Right, Shane Douglas is in the ring. He says AMW's dominated TNA since day one, and they've been a thorn in the side of the Naturals. And then he announces the newly franchised Naturals, and the newly franchised Naturals win in an extremely short match. They beat AMW. I wasn't really expecting this.
But then there's like a massive beatdown afterwards because Steiner and Jarrett come out, and then Shane Douglas is like, well, why he's getting beat up? Maybe because it's like 4-on-2, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, and Shane Douglas, oh, but he can't go anymore, he can't. Listen, Shane Douglas is standing outside, out the ring, and he walks down after his 2 wee guys get chucked out, and he's standing there as if he's like disapproving.
Well, no.
And it's like, well, here, hold on, why didn't you come down with a fucking weapon or something and try and...
Why can't Shane Douglas go? Is this legit?
No, I just think it's embarrassing. He's just watched...
No, is he injured though?
No, I don't know, but I mean, he's watched his team win, and then they've been beaten down 4-on-2, and he's sitting there like unhappy with it. It's like...
I know, no, it's ridiculous, but there's no way in 2006 that Shane Douglas is older than is much older than guys like Jarrett and Steiner.
Yeah, right, then we have Jarrett saying they're not leaving until Christian shows his face. After the break, Larry Sabisco comes down with a nice looking wig on, and he says he's got to relay some important orders for Jim Cornette, and if they don't comply, they will face the same, they'll have the same fate as El Hebner, which was fired. Now, we see later on in the night that's not the case. First order is for Steiner. Cornette demands that Steiner meet him face to face in the ring tonight. The second order for Jarrett. Cornette demands he leaves the building immediately. And that's it. AMW, they try and force Jarrett out the ring, convince him to leave. Then we get Tenay and West talking about Sting and Jarrett. We see an interview that Tenay did with Sting. Sting did the interview with Steve Borden and no face paint. I mean, it's the same thing. It's not Steve Borden. It's Sting without the face paint.
I don't really like this, so man. I want just keep the Stinger with Sting. When he was getting,
I didn't mind it when Alex Shelley was videoing it because that's his like private life. But I think that should be the only time you really address him with Steve.
I like that.
I think that's the only. Cause that makes sense. But I don't think Sting should be.
It'd be a bit weird. The Sting, was waking up my Sunday morning watching cartoons with his kids, and he was fucking putting the face paint on.
Taking his kids to school.
It's showtime!
Woo! Anyway, right, so we got this. He said, I'm going to have Christian in my corner, and it's going to be great. And I'm thinking, right, well, Christian's going to turn on your ass at Hard Justice. Then we get a video package featuring Sensei. He just commented on the X Division. Don't really care.
Boring.
Then we had Petey Williams, Jay Lethal, Alex Shelley, Sanjay Dutt and Kazarian in a 5-way X Division match, #1 contender. Petey Williams won. Good for him. He's going to face Sensei at Hard Justice, Canadian Destroyer. I missed the days when he hit it and nobody kicked out. Then we got Borash arrived backstage in a limo. And Christian was in the limo with him. Well, I say a limo, it wasn't a limo, it was just a car, wasn't it? A black car.
TNA can't afford limos.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Cornette is here. I mean, he just literally arrived here. I mean, it's one thing having McMahon show up to Raw on a 1-hour show. I mean, on a 2-hour show, sorry. And he's showing up with half the show remaining. But you've got Cornette here showing up 45 minutes in to a 1-hour show. It's like,
which is about 4 minutes left.
Yeah, minus the ads. What's the point? Right, then we've got Eric Young. He wants to keep his job. Christian's like, it doesn't look good for you, but I'll try and talk him out of it. So Christian leading Young to believe that he's going to be fired, perhaps. Then we get Cornette out in the ring. He basically talks a little bit about other promotions. Says that he hasn't been on TV much because he doesn't believe that the boss should be on TV every 5 minutes like other promotions. It's like, fuck off, Cornette. Right, at the end of the day, you can spin this whatever way you want. First of all, you ain't McMahon, and what I mean by that is McMahon's great. McMahon's one of the best personalities to ever be seen on a wrestling TV screen, or any TV screen for that matter. You are simply not. You're not. Your character's not Vince McMahon. Second of all, you're not the owner. You're an employee. If McMahon, McMahon's not just. By the way, McMahon's not just the owner in terms of the chairman of the board. He's not the owner in character. He is the actual fucking owner. So McMahon wants to basically take up a 2-hour Raw and just sing Margaritaville. That he can do that. Margaritaville. No, but McMahon can. But no, I don't get right. McMahon's fucking great, and it doesn't matter who he's working with, what wrestler or what story. McMahon adds, improves, and makes everything better. I don't think Cornette coming out and ranting and throwing digs at WWE is necessarily making TNA better.
No, definitely not, man. It just seems to be a trend at this point with TNA, where all these guys just bash WWE.
See, anytime McMahon appears on Raw or SmackDown, does it make the show worse?
No, but also I think a key thing here about Cornette, like Cornette is the boss kayfabe, as you pointed out. It's like his whole purpose is to show up to be a TV character.
Yeah.
So this is just an unnecessary dig, but he makes some matches. I mean, some of it sounds alright, some of it sounds shite. And then he basically just tells everyone else to fuck off while Scott Steiner and Christian get in the ring. But what were some of the matches he made?
Well, we're getting Lethal, Dutt and Sabin versus Shelley, Devine and Kevin Nash on next week's Impact. We're getting AMW, James Gang, Kazarian and Bentley in the Naturals. And the winner will get a shot at the tag titles. I mean, where does Kazarian and Bentley come from? I've no fucking idea.
Brother Runt versus Abyss.
Yeah, now I think most of these were for the pay-per-view, but he also announced Monty Brown, Rhino, and Samoa Joe. So we had that stuff in there. He then tells them all to leave. That leaves Christian and Steiner in the ring. Steiner and Christian throw some words at each other. Steiner says Christian needs to head back to Mexico North, and then apologises to all the Mexicans out there. So I love that Steiner's referring to Canada as Mexico North.
Fucking great, man.
Then
unleash him, I'm telling you.
Christian calls Steiner Sir Lancelot, makes fun of the chain thing wrapped around Steiner's head. And then we see a fan attack Christian in a Sting mask, and it turns out it's Jeff Jarrett, and they beat up Christian as the show ends. But Jim Cornette was standing in the ring. Jim Cornette said anyone who didn't comply to his 2 demands earlier would be getting the Earl Hebner treatment. They'd be getting fired. So technically Jeff Jarrett should be getting fired. See, for Jeff Jarrett to have pulled a spectacular move, he should have kept the Sting mask on.
Yeah.
How the fuck does Jeff Jarrett reveal his identity? How's that a smart move by Jarrett? If anything, why did Jim Cornette not grab... And see, instead of looking pissed, why didn't Jim Cornette just grab the mic and say, Jarrett, I told you if you didn't leave the arena, there'd be consequences. So you're stripped the title, you're fired. Why is Jim Cornette acting upset? It's like, oh, there's nothing I can do now.
Yeah, and also...
It made no sense.
Look at what Jim Cornette actually did for Jarrett. He gave him the fucking belt. Jarrett pretending there's a big conspiracy against him. Guy needs to wise up, man.
TNA management want to get the belt off him so much they hand up him the belt even though he lost it.
I know. Right, I will give it a...
I'm going to get a 4 out of 10. I mean, I like the Steiner Christian promo at the end, but other than that, I mean, it's probably the only standout thing on the show.
No Nash either. Yeah, I'll give you a 4 as well. Pretty tragic, man.
Right, guys, that's it. We'll see what happens next week. A few matches announced, and then after that, we've got Hard Justice. Till next time, peace.